weeks later, we came back into a second special session. Last year, we cut 6 different taxes on new equipment, on utilities, on debt. Largest income tax cut in the state's history. Why was that so important? We were one of only 3 states with a tax on new equipment. Greatest gift we could give our neighboring states. Texas didn't have it, Arkansas didn't have it, Mississippi didn't. Companies would tell us, if it's more expensive to invest here, we're going to go there instead of coming to Louisiana. They told us our newest equipment in Louisiana is still older than our oldest equipment in other states. If it's more expensive to be here, well, we're going to go to other states. So we said we've got to encourage businesses and others to expand and invest in Louisiana. Some have asked me this year, well, Governor, why don't you raise taxes? Or why don't you slow down those taxes? I said the worst thing you could do in this national economy is take more money out of people's pockets, whether it's families, Louisiana families, or Louisiana businesses. Not only did we cut taxes last year, we've said we're not raising taxes this year. We're not slowing down those tax cuts, and we'll veto any attempt to try to do that. But we didn't do just that. Last year, we used surplus monies to do things like pay down pension debt, deferred maintenance in our colleges, made some changes in our tax laws, and our spending laws to say our vehicle taxes, our transportation taxes, should go for transportation needs. For too many years, you've heard transportation secretaries tell you, well, we're going to have to raise gasoline taxes if you want to build roads. We said that's ridiculous. We already pay enough in taxes. Here's a different idea. What if we take the taxes you already pay, and why don't we spend them the way we were supposed to in the first place? Now there's a radical idea. Don't tell anybody in Washington, might catch on. As our economy grows again, we'll be able to substantially increase what we spend on roads just by using the dollars that are already being paid for transportation purposes already, instead of allowing it to disappear in the black hole of the budget. We did other things as well, but then we came back to our third session. And let me tell you, probably the single most important issue of that session was workforce development. Why is that so important? Even in this economy, we've got tens of thousands of jobs we can't fill today. And we're here to celebrate students that have completed one step in their education and going on to the next step. And that's a fantastic thing. Let me tell you, I love when our kids go to college. Indeed, in our family, my dad's one of 9 kids. He's the only one that got past the 5th grade. Grew up in a house without electricity, without running water. I know all this because he told me this every single day of my life. To the students, I know your parents would never do that when you were growing up. But when I'd come home, I'd complain about something. I'd want an allowance. He'd tell me, I'll give you an allowance when you pay me for the food you eat. And if I ever complained, he'd tell me, son, you don't know how lucky you have it. He apparently had to walk uphill when he went to school. Walked uphill coming back from school. They didn't have downhill. They didn't have school buses. It was amazing. It was an amazing time when my dad was growing up. But the thing my dad emphasized to us was the importance of education. He'd always tell sons, I'm not giving you a famous last name or an inheritance, but I'm going to make sure you get a great education. And so to our students that are going on and continuing their studies, I congratulate them. We fully funded TOPS. We encourage our kids. We put $100 million into our universities, into their buildings. This year we're proposing that to help get ready for our students. But we also have to admit not every student is going to start their studies in a 4-year school. Reality is every year in Louisiana, last year 13,600 students dropped out of high school. 3,000 students dropped out of middle school. On an average year, about 15,000 kids drop out before they graduate. In an average year, we locked up 15,000 people in our prisons. That's not a coincidence. We know that students that don't finish their studies are more likely to get in trouble with the law, more likely to live in poverty, less likely to get a good paying job. Every year, we release 15,000 people from our prisons. We've got the second highest per capita incarceration rate in this country, right here in Louisiana. And yet we know 50% of the people we release, we're going to rearrest within the first 5 years out of prison. We've got to break this cycle. And education is a key part of breaking this cycle. And it starts by recognizing that the majority of jobs in this new economy are going to require training beyond high school and short of a 4-year degree. So if our kids going to college, we need to support them, encourage them. That's a great thing. There are plenty of good paying jobs for college graduates. But we also need to help more of our students go to community and technical colleges. So last year we put $8.5 million for dual training so our students can get relevant training before they leave high school, so they can continue their studies towards a technical certificate or even towards a 4-year degree. Put $10 million for high-cost, high-growth job training programs. $3 million in a rapid response fund to work with employers who need skilled workers today. We offered a first-day guarantee saying our people will be ready to work on the first day, or we'll retrain them for free. Why is that so important? 70% of the companies thinking of moving to Louisiana or expanding here tell us one of their top 2 concerns is being able to find a skilled employee, a skilled workforce. That's one of their top 2 concerns. So we can now go to companies and say, we've cut taxes, we've reformed ethics, now we guarantee you a skilled workforce. No wonder we're running circles around other states. No wonder last year to this year, 21,000 new jobs were announced, $2.9 billion in private capital expansions were announced. But it doesn't stop there. We've got to continue, and we're moving forward again this year. We've proposed some additional efforts this year. You know, 2/3 of our high school students graduate on time. 6% of our at-risk students go to a GED program and never finish that GED. But there are programs that work. There's a program called Jobs for America's Graduates. Over 95% of their students graduate on time. Over half of their at-risk students finish their GEDs. So instead of just going new money, we said, let's take the existing dollars we're spending and expand this program. We built it into something called Employ, with a work-ready certificate and other enhancements, bring it to 14 school districts. We're going to grow this program. We know we've got to do a better job educating our students. I am proud of the fact 17 of our community and technical colleges are among the fastest growing in the country. That's why we're proposing an investment of $65 million this year to expand our community and technical college campuses. I want every student to complete and continue their education. Everything from a technical degree to a community college degree to a 4-year degree to a graduate degree. I want every student to continue their studies in high school and continue studying so they can get those good paying jobs. You know, our state's not a poor state. I hate that excuse when people say, oh, Louisiana's a poor state. That's nonsense. We're a rich state. Maybe we have poor leadership. We have 30% of the nation's oil and gas, 30% of fisheries, 5 of the nation's largest ports. We're one of only 2 states with 6 major railroads. But what's going to allow us to compete in tomorrow's economy is not just oil and gas and ports and rivers. It's having the best educated, the most skilled, the most competitive workforce in the entire world. And that's why it's so important we're celebrating our students today and remembering it's important we help support their education. And we did other things last session as well. We cracked down on crimes to protect our children. You know, I campaigned when I was here, and I was telling Mike, I remember being in this hall, obviously this parish several times. I remember being in this very hall during a campaign function and talking about the fact that some people get so excited when you can go online and find out these predators who prey on our children live block by block. I told you at the time, that doesn't impress me. I'd rather you went online and find out that they all lived in one place. In Angola, far away from all of our children. Well, last year we passed some of the country's toughest laws to protect our children. We're requiring lifetime registration, preventing these monsters from being able to wear masks, give out candy, cracking down on their abuse, using the computers to go after our children, closing loopholes in the laws. And we're back again this year saying that they shouldn't be allowed to own and operate daycare facilities, allowing for post-release, post-sentence involuntary containment in a mental health facility, and other reforms to make sure we're doing everything possible to protect our children. But I was so disappointed in the Supreme Court last year. You may have seen this ruling, a 5-4 ruling in the Kennedy case. The United States Supreme Court threw out Louisiana's death penalty for child rapists. They said the punishment wasn't proportional to the crime. You try explaining that to the young girl in this case who was attacked by a 300-pound plus man, not allowed to get health care for hours, will never be able to have children as an adult. You know, I'm not allowed to overturn a judicial case, but I can choose when I sign bills of law. So that day I signed a bill of law passed by the legislature that gives judges the option of castration on the first offense, makes it mandatory on the second offense. A reporter asked me, well, Governor, aren't you worried what people are going to think about your state when you do that? I said, absolutely not. What I want them to know is if you intend to harm a child, you'd better stay out of the state of Louisiana. We're going to have the toughest laws in the country to protect our children. I was talking up in Sabine Parish, and May came up to me afterwards and said, Governor, you know, I heard you talk. He said, those jobs you were talking about, those civil service jobs? I said, sir, I'm confused. What are you talking about? I didn't mention, are you looking for a job? He goes, no, that castration bill. Are those civil service jobs? Would you take volunteers? I said, no, they got medical professionals who do that. I said, well, I'm a grandfather. You wouldn't have to pay me anything. I do it for free.